Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I am the Scribbler Mom. In this video, I will be sharing with you the basic tools that I use as an amateur illustrator for my books. But before I get to that, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has already bought a copy of any of my books, particularly my latest unicorn book, The Unicorn in a Tutu and the Stolen Pumpkin. And I want to give a shout out to another author who has given this book a really positive review, and that's Miss Carrie Weston. Thank you so much for your overwhelming positive review of The Unicorn in a Tutu and the Stolen Pumpkin. I really appreciate it. And you guys, like I said, she is an author as well, and do check out her book. She has a book out as well. It's called Xander Chase and the Unicorn Code, another unicorn book. Okay, so now let's get to the tools that I use as an amateur illustrator. When I started drawing my own books, when I decided that I want to be the one to not only write my book but also to illustrate them, I had no idea what I'm supposed to use. Anybody can draw on paper using a pen or pencil, but to be able to put that onto the computer in good quality, I had no idea how to do that, because I know you can scan it, but a lot of the times there's a lot of quality losses when you scan it. Once you scan it, it's already uploaded in the computer. How do you manipulate it to make it better? I really didn't have any clue. But as a person who grew up with a computer, there's always that thing on your Windows computer, Paint. That's what I first used, Paint. The thing with Paint is it's very basic. It can do a lot of things, but if you're trying to draw something like a book where you want to put your characters in different backgrounds easily, it's not really straightforward. It's going to be very tedious because Paint doesn't have layers, and you can actually not save pictures or illustrations without background. You can save them as PNG, but there'll always be a white background. You'll have to do something for you to be able to save. Let's say you drew a character and you want just your character with no background. It's very complicated. At the time when I was playing around with the idea of self-publishing my book, Windows came up with Paint 3D or 3D Paint. It's also Paint for Windows. It comes for free with Windows, but it's a 3D one. That software or application, unlike the original Paint, this one, obviously from the name itself, you can create 3D illustrations using that, but at the same time it has that ability to save the illustrations or drawings without background easily. And this book, which is the very first book that I self-published, is actually created using Paint 3D and the normal Paint. It wasn't easy, obviously, because I'm an amateur illustrator. I have no idea about the tools to buy that I could attach to the computer, like those drawing tablets and stuff like that, or what is the best software to use. Plus the fact that I didn't really want to spend money on buying those equipment, and then I ended up not being able to actually pull it off, creating a book with my own illustrations. So I had to try creating this book without spending any money and just using whatever I have already. And this is how it turned out. This is the cover, and this is what it looks like inside. And to be honest, it wasn't easy creating this book because I had to use a mouse and draw that way on the computer, and being a person who can't even draw a straight line using a pen and paper, having to do that on the computer where you can't really control the fine movements of whatever it is you're drawing, it wasn't easy, but perseverance pays off, and I was able to produce my first The Unicorn in a Tutu book. Yeah, so I was really quite happy with that. And was able to make 2 other books using the same drawing softwares, Paint. I have this one, which I did next, and I took more advantage of the 3D capabilities of the software, Paint, and this one, which is the Counting on the Beach book. So this one was also made using Paint. And then the last one that I created using Paint, just Paint, is this one, Paint 3D and the regular Paint, which is actually my best-selling book on Amazon, the little star and the other shapes. When I started, I really did not spend anything at all when it comes to like equipment. I already have a computer. The Paint apps, they're already included in Windows, so I didn't really have to buy that separately. And I just had to do some research about doing certain things to be able to like achieve the quality needed when you're creating your illustrations for printing. But that was a little bit of a challenge because I did encounter some challenges like that, because with Paint you can adjust the PPI, but for some reason when you save your file, it doesn't really save as 300 dpi, regardless of whether you computed your pixels correctly to produce a 300 dpi. So that was a little bit of a challenge, and I had to take some steps to manipulate that image so that it will be acceptable for printing on Amazon. And then I wanted to create more books, but I wanted to be able to actually draw properly using my hand rather than a mouse. And then from YouTube, I found a way of how you can actually convert your hand-drawn sketches digitally by basically taking a picture of your sketches and then uploading them onto the computer and manipulating it on the next software that I use again, which is free, GIMP. GIMP is a lot like Photoshop. It uses layers and stuff like that, so it is a lot easier, unlike the Paint and Paint 3D, because it has layers and it's more like a professional editing software already for illustrations and photos. You can actually already set your canvas to 300 dpi regardless of what size of canvas you want. But of course, before I could use GIMP, I had to draw on paper first. That's when I started buying sketch pads like this one, which here in the UK I was able to get them from Home Bargains, which as you can see is like 95p, but in Home Bargains I think you can get it for even less than that, I think 50p or something. Also from Home Bargains I bought a pack of pencils like this. I prefer the ones with the white rubber at the top. When you're drawing on paper and you want to put it on a computer, you want your lines to be really dark and as clear as possible. So after using a pencil, I have to go over the lines using an ink pen like this one, again from Home Bargains. And then I would transfer it to the computer by taking a photo of each drawing and then uploading them on the computer. And then that's when I use GIMP, where I actually am able to take the background out and just get the outlines of my drawing, and then I can color it in and change it, design it, do anything I want with it, manipulate the picture so that it's a lot better. So from that, it turned into this. The books that I have created using this process are Spotty and Doodles, Wonder and Wonder, this Christmas book, A Promise That Started Christmas Trees. This is not a picture book, but it does have some pictures at the start of each chapter. The second Shapes book, which is a follow-up to the first one here. And last but not least, the unicorn and the tutu and the stolen pumpkin. So, but now that I'm a little bit more confident when it comes to drawing and I actually want to grow more as an illustrator for my own books, I have now invested on an iPad Pro. You can buy a pencil for it. A lot of illustrators that I've watched on YouTube have been using this app, which is called Procreate. And I'm having lots of fun. I actually have a new book. It's a picture book, which is called Animal Sounds, a short story. I did that entire book using Procreate. Those are the things that I have been using. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys found that useful. If you're like me, who's not a professional illustrator, but you want to try and give it a go and don't want to spend money, I hope this video helps you and gives you an idea a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.